Sage Wanderer coming at you from my van down by the river. So I would like to address a few things that I think are common obstacles that we face that prevent us from communicating. I think the biggest problem in America, in politics, in everything is that our communication is being hampered. Our communication is being clouded. And part of that is because of corrupt ways of thinking, because of incorrect ideologies and concepts concerning communication and what it means to agree and disagree with one another. Let me make a case in point. So I recently did a video about Kanye West. Now, some would argue, and I think if they found what I'd said and it was a bigger video than it was, a lot of people would probably have this opinion that how dare I, as a white person, I don't have the right to chime in. I don't have the right to have an opinion about what he said. I don't have a right to have an opinion about slavery or about African American struggles in America. And I think most of the people on this channel would disagree with that and say that, one thing about freedom of speech, one thing about being co-owners of America together, blacks and whites, Hispanics, Asians, all of us own America, that we all are shareholders in the corporate stock of the United States, or should be. That's a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. We have the First Amendment right to freedom of speech and freedom of expression, and I should be allowed to chime in. I think most people would agree with that, and no one really has come on my channel and challenged that. But in another video, I referred to a guy, and I said he was intriguing. This guy is Hassan Campbell. I don't know anything about this guy. I don't know anything about him. But he said some things that resonated with me in a video, and I thought that he was intriguing and interesting, and it compelled me to share it and to comment about it. And several people came on my channel and attacked me. And one of them has gone so far as to make a rebuttal video against me. And, which this is not a rebuttal video against him. Honestly, I don't care. I really don't care. People's opinion of me, I don't care. I love you guys. Thank you for loving me, and I appreciate the connection that I have with my viewers. But don't think you can use peer pressure or shunning techniques, or don't think that you can bully me into, I don't know, being concerned about what you think. You don't have that power over me. No one does. I'm stubborn if you haven't figured it out. But this idea that I'm not allowed to agree with someone because they might have something in their past that makes them an unsavory character, or they might have said something in the past. You know what? Who you are does not negate what you say. It doesn't matter who you are. If you speak truth, it's truth. The truth is the truth, even if it comes out of the mouth of the devil himself. That just because the mouth that speaks it may be defiled in some way does not lessen truth. Truth is truth. It doesn't matter who the speaker is. God spoke through a donkey once. He could certainly speak through a jackass like me. So, the truth is what we're talking about here. When someone says something you agree with, you have the right to say amen without agreeing to everything that person ever said. An amen on one statement or one topic does not equal an agreement to who this person is as an individual, as a entity. That I'm not endorsing someone simply because I go, hey, check out what they say. That this is a sickness that is creating these bubbles that people live in. There is this belief that you can only interact with and agree with people, that you agree with everything or nothing. There's this everything or nothing mentality out there that's very frustrating to me. I can agree with some of the things that Alex Jones says. It doesn't make me a crazy person. It doesn't mean that I believe everything that Alex Jones says. I can agree with some things that somebody like Bernie Sanders says. It doesn't make me a socialist because he's speaking truth sometimes. That even a stopped clock is right twice a day. That we have to start thinking in the terms of ideas and not in the terms of human beings. You don't have to endorse a human being to endorse their ideas. And I say this to both sides. Just because you agree with somebody who has a nefarious past or has done something wrong or bad or illegal or immoral, just because you agree with something they say doesn't mean you're endorsing their immoral, illegal, or irrational behavior. That we've got to be allowed to speak truth, to recognize truth, to label truth, to say amen to truth, without having to vet the speaker of the truth. Does that make sense? Are you following me? That this is just a demonic plot to separate us? That if I can't agree on the nuggets of truth that you have without endorsing your entire belief system, then I'm isolating you and myself. I'm isolating myself down into a little bubble where I only allow people in my circle who I agree with on 100% of all topics all the time, every day. And who is that? Who is that? That's either a yes man that doesn't really have an opinion, or the only person in your bubble is you. I call that isolation. Look that word up. Isolation. That I can agree with something you said without agreeing with you as a person, or without agreeing to your whole doctrine, theology, or ideology, or philosophy. Truth is truth. It doesn't matter who speaks it. And I can agree with it without feeling like, oh no, I've agreed with the devil. Well, if the devil says that God is love, well, I got to agree with the devil then. Because God is love. And truth is truth. And the speaker is irrelevant. God save our republic.